Just congealed coppery nastiness. Ugh.
Yeah. What company has forever lost your business and why?
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, this is a good question. I gotta think about this.
Dick's Sporting Goods? Why, Kyle?
What was that?
I went there to spend like a lot of money one day. We needed lots of stuff.
I didn't get the name of the company.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Which one?
Dick's Sporting Goods. I went there to spend a lot of money one day. I had a list of things that needed buying, and it was like $3,000 worth of stuff. It was a bunch of stuff. I needed like lots of shit. Among it was like an air hockey table and a ping pong table. There was lots of stuff. I was buying big things. And I couldn't find anybody to fucking help me. And I was just like, hey, I need some assistance. I want to buy that weight machine and I want to buy that bench press. And over in the other section, there's 2 or 3 table games that I'm going to be buying too. I was like, someone needs some help loading things. And so I'm trying to like let her know I'm here to buy $3 or $4 worth of shit. It's real heavy. I'm going to need like 2 guys. Like I'm going to need somebody with a scanner gun and a hand truck. And like nothing ever came of it. And I stood there for like 25 minutes and I like had a bit of a meltdown. Said,
Describe the meltdown.
I was like, this is absurd. She's like, well, they'll be here any minute. And I'm just like, where have they been? She said, they're in the back. I was like, I'm leaving. I was like, I'm here to buy. I was here to buy like this and this and this and this. I was like, I'm not buying any of it here. I'll never come here again. No. And she's like, well, they'll be right out. I'm like, but I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
They can come out, but I'm not going to be here. That's what I'm saying.
I think I even tweeted at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I was like, fuck you. I'll never. I haven't been back, but I did go somewhere else and bought all. I did buy all that shit. I had a bunch of stuff that it really upset me. I was like, I'm here to do some business, and I can't get them to do their end of it, which is pretty much just take my money and give me their things.
I've got 2. One, of course, is Dr. Mann, the dentist in Cary, North Carolina, that just ran too late. Consistently ran late. I've told this story before. I worked with him. I was like, hey, when are you guys on schedule? Schedule me for then. Oh, right after lunch. Got fired. I fired him. It's fucking run your shit better. But the other one is Gunner Optics, the sunglasses. These fuckers hurt my feelings. Like,
What'd they do?
So I was at Call of Duty XP, and I was like a competitor at the event, the first one. And at the time, one of the ways to qualify was to do really well in these online events. They'd run them for like 24 hours, and someone got like the most kills in TDM or something. And then he reached out to me, T-Mart, and another guy, maybe Fearcrads, but I'm not sure, and said, hey, let's be a team. We'll go together and whatever. So I'm there, and I'm picking up like my competitor gear, which includes like a shirt with my like a high performance fabric shirt that all the pro gamers wear, and with my name on it, and like some Gunner Optics and some other swag and like a bag. And I'm standing in line, and they help. Like the line is slow. They're going through, helping one guy and the next guy and the next guy. There's like 20 people in front of me, and it takes everyone like 2 minutes. So I'm just waiting and waiting. And when they get to me, they help the guy behind me, and it's like, the fuck. And then they help the guy behind him, and then they help the guy, and I tap 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 on the shoulder, like, hey, it seems like you skipped me. And they're like, no, this line is just for competitors. And I'm like, I am a competitor. Like, check my name. It's on the list. And I get this, like, sure it is. Yeah, right. Like, I'm faking or something. And it's like, you fucking ageist. Like you fucking skipped over me. Because I'm like, I don't know, 38 at the time. And, they're just, like, not having it. And I eventually look, check my name, it's on the thing, and then they like begrudgingly, there was no like, oh, I'm so sorry, I thought you were here with someone, like somene's dad.
Like, I guess you meet the minimum requirements. So
yeah,
give them this $8 sunglasses that we paid $2 for. Yeah, those guys are just cum bucket, scummy, skeezy cocksuckers.
They reluctantly gave me my stuff, and they were just like total dicks about it. So years later, I was at an event with, I think either Envy or Optic was holding it. And they did like Envy versus Optic, like at the Optic House or something like that. And they invited me along. Not because I'm a pro gamer, obviously, but because, if you at the time, if you put my name on a Call of Duty event, it would draw a few more eyeballs than maybe it would have otherwise. And no, and I go there and I play with the guys and it's all fun. But then the gunner people asked me to sign a release, right? And I didn't even know it was a gunner event or anything. And they're like, hey, can you sign this release so that we can use your likeness and all this shit, in our promotional videos? And I was like, no. Right? And they're like, oh, you have to. Like, we've been filming you all day. Like, it's going to be really hard to, like, edit you out of, like, every scene all day long.
Like, these are wide shots of, like, 8 guys, and Woody's one of them.
Uh-huh.
Well, you didn't seem to have a problem editing me out of the line earlier.
Yeah, dude, exactly. So, like, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah. Well, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, I was at a Call of Duty XP event and just like fucking laid it all out there like I just did. They skipped over me. Next guy, next guy, next guy. And I'm not quite over it. And they're like, could you just sign? No. And, and I didn't sign, and they had to edit me out of all their shit. And it wasn't like they just blurred my face or anything. They just didn't use any scenes that I was in. And if I had an opportunity to do it again, I'd fuck them again. Because fuck Gunner. They're pieces of shit. They treat me badly. And fuck Gunner.
Yeah, they've treated other people that I like poorly. I don't like Gunner. They always kissed. See, this is something I really hate. This goes back to why I don't like some other people that I won't mention. I hate it when people treat my friends badly and are nice to me. And I see that disparity, and I know that there's no reason for it to exist other than their own greed and what they're trying to extract from me. It just shows they just don't value this person over here at all. They just value what I can maybe do for them, and whatever it may be. And I hate that so much. I immediately hate you with a burning passion of hate, and I want you to do poorly at all things, and get in a car accident and get injured bad. I want you to not be able to get erections and your wife to leave you or something. I hate that. I hate it.
Jesus. I'm sorry. When I talk, it silenced you, but that was some good shit, Kyle. Are gunner optics still around?
The one that I won't go to is Macaroni Grill, because I got hair in my food there, but it was 2 different kinds of hair. At the same time. Not a clear pube and then a clear head hair. No. There was a black hair. You might be like, oh, how do you know that wasn't your hair? Because my hair is dark brown. I know the difference between my hair, held up, dark brown, and black hair. There was a black hair that was maybe a couple inches long, and then there was a longer blonde haur. Oh. And so there was a blonde hair and a black hair in the same dish. There's probably none of it in the actual food because it was just a burger. This was so many years ago.
Poured over my cottage pie. What the fuck was happening back there?
Yeah, it was disgusting. But nothing ever came of it really. I just was I ate part of the food and I was like, yeah, I found hair on my plate, and they were like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Do you want me to bring you another one? And I was like, no, this is the last time I'll come here, because one hair I could be like, okay, maybe there's just some Mexican in the back didn't put their hairnet on, so there's a straight black hair there or something. But no, it was a blonde and a black hair, so there was a lot of recklessness and clearly someone not putting the food where it should be, because there shouldn't be 2 people with their heads directly over my plate at any time.
Meanwhile, you missed the poor cook who just didn't wear their hairnet that day, and they got a blonde mohawk or something like that, and just that's all that happened. He just got 2 color. He got 2-toned hair. Yeah, I wouldn't like it either. A little smorgasbord of different kinds of hairs in my food. Like I said, they shot an interracial porno over your salad or whatever it may be. I don't want that food.
A lot of people consider hair to be a really disgusting thing to put in a food.
It's a sign of the carelessness in general. See, it's not the hair itself. I'll pluck a hair off your head and lick it. I mean, what could be on there? How much of anything? You could dip a hair in an actual pile of shit. And how much actual shit would be on the hair? You could lick that shit right off that hair. That's not enough shit to hurt you, especially if it's your own shit. Yeah. So it's not the hair. It's that this food once existed in a circumstance in which hairs could just fall right in. because that means anything could fall right in. If there's hairs falling off your head, then that means there's boogers falling in. There's little eye boogers, those little things you wipe away in the morning and flick away into just somewhere into your room. Those might be in your food. Maybe some earwax. God knows what could be in there. He doesn't have a hairnet on. He's not safeguarding your food. It's moving around, and there's 2 different kinds of hair. That means that 2 different dirty people handle your food outside the rare 2-toned chef circumstance.
But you're right. It's not necessarily the hair itself, but rather what the hair is indicative of like, okay, does this mean that like my chicken patty or whatever fucking dish it is, that this slid off the plate onto like the metal surface you're cooking on and got some hair, but you just thought, fuck it, I put it back on the plate. Like, I don't think anybody was standing over my plate like scratching feverishly on their hair. It just shows like, if you were careful, this wouldn't have happened. Certainly not twice from 2 different people. So
I had that waitress that time who smelled like shit. I didn't, but that didn't really turn me against Ruby Tuesdays. I've been back to Ruby Tuesdays since.